morning, children. In the last class, we discussed about covalent bond, ionic bond from the chemical bonding, and complete this topic is deleted. Amma, please, children, if it is deleted, it compulsory to teach the concept like a summary. I'm giving the chemical bonding about the types of bonds, that is ionic bond. Due to transfer of ions, a bond is formed. That bond is said to be ionic bond. And due to sharing of electrons, if a bond is formed, such bond is called as a covalent bond. By losing or by gaining the electrons, it forms the ions. And the bond formed due to ions is called ionic bond. And the bond formed by sharing the electrons is known as a ionic covalent bond. Here you can see the example of a fluorine. Fluorine atomic number is 9. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p7, 2p6. Sorry, 2p, how much we'll get? 4 plus the 9, no, it is of 5, 2p5. So 7 electrons in the outermost. In that 7, one is unpaired. An unpaired electron of a first fluorine overlaps or reacts with a unpaired electron of another fluorine and forms and share the 2 electrons. It is example for a double bond. It is example for a single bond. Okay. Now in the case of oxygen, as it is sharing 2 electrons with another oxygen and 2 types of bonds are formed, they are said to be example for a double bond. In ammonia nitrogen molecule, 3 unpaired electrons will participate in a bond formation and share with another nitrogen. So it is example for a triple bond. Methane CH4 is example for bond formation in single bonds. 4 single bond, it is a tetrahedral. Okay. Now let us check ammonia. Ammonia will get nitrogen, 3 unpaired electrons and overlap, reacting with 3 hydrogens and forming as a ammonia molecule. Now water, oxygen atomic number is 8. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. In that 2p4, 1 is paired and 2 unpaired electrons. These 2 unpaired electrons of each oxygen reacts with a 2 hydrogens whose consist of 1 unpaired electron. As it is overlapping, see the red color mark here, this indicates it is a bond formation takes place. Okay. And bond lengths and bond energies, the distance or the length between the atom and the nuclei of another atom is said to be a bond length and bond energies. What are the drawbacks of this electronic theory of valency? What we have discussed about a covalent bond, ionic bonds. Ionic bond is given by a co-cell and they are said to be a electronic theory of valence or valency. Here what you are going to understand that there is a change in the bond lengths and bond energies before the bond formation and after the bond formation. They could not explain. So electronic valential theory is failed. Now we are going to discuss shape of the molecules and their bond lengths and bond energies with the valential electron pair repulsion theory. VSEPRT, that is valential electron pair repulsion theory. According to this theory, this helps us to understand the covalent bonds and a lone pair of electrons clouds the repel another and stay far away from possible. This is the reason why molecules get specific shapes. What is this theory helps us? This theory helps us to understand valence shells, electrons in a valence shell and bonded pairs and a lone pairs. What are the bonded pairs? What are lone pairs? Already paired electrons are said to be a lone pairs, never participates in a bond formation. Bonded pair consisting of 1 unpaired electron ready to participate in a bond formation. And this repulsion and attraction between the bond pair and lone pair is helpful to us to guess the shapes. Okay. If you know the total number of electron pairs in a valence shell and a shell lone pairs in central atom, it helps us to arrange the pairs around the nucleus. Lone pair occupies more space than the bond pair, and the repulsion and these are attracted to only one nucleus. Non-bonding electron pairs. Lone pair means non-bonding electron pairs, never bonds, it never participates in a bond formation, and it attracts and it occupies the more space along the nucleus. The presence of lone pair on the central atom causes a slight desertion on the bond angles from the expected regular shape. The angle between the lone pair and the bond pair increases at the central atom due to more repulsion. The actual bonds between the atoms must be decreases. This theory helps us to understand the bond lengths, bond energies and bond angles. Why there is a change in the bond angles? Can you say the reason? Because this theory helps us to understand, help us to find out the lone pairs and the bond pairs. What are the lone pairs? Non-bonding pairs, already bonded, paired one, never participates in a bond formation, and that lone pair occupies a more space around the nucleus than the bond pair. So due to repulsion between a lone pair and attraction, lone pair and a bond pair, there is a slight change in the angle. Clear? Next. Two bond pairs are present in the covalent bonds around the nucleus central atom without any lone pair. Then the angle between them is expected is 180 degrees and the shape is linear. Its shape is linear. Most important, underline children. If two bond pairs are present without any lone pairs, then what would be the angle between the two atoms? 180 degrees. If it is a 180 degrees, what is the shape? Linear. If three bond pairs without any lone pairs around the nucleus, what happens? It forms a trigonal planar shape. What is a trigonal planar shape? And angle is 120 degrees. Clear? If three bond pairs without any lone pair, what would be the angle? 120 degrees. What is the shape? Trigonal planar shape. Example for that is beryllium boron trifluoride. And if we check beryllium chloride and boron trifluoride, around them, if we count number of electrons, around the boron we have only 4 electrons, and around the beryllium 4 electrons, around the boron 5 electrons, 6 electrons. It means if we check around them, they are not getting 8. So they are said to be electron deficient molecules. Beryllium chloride, boron trifluoride is said to be electron deficient molecules. Okay? If there are 4 bond pairs without any lone pairs, then it is of 109 degrees and 28 inches tetrahedron structure. Tetrahedron structure. Most important, 3 bond pairs without any, 2 bond pairs without any lone pairs. Shape is a linear, angle between them is 180 degrees. Good example is beryllium chloride, BeCl2. And 3 bond pairs without any lone pairs. Shape is a trigonal planar, angle is 120 degrees. And example, boron trifluoride. What is the electron deficient molecules? In beryllium chloride and boron trifluoride, if we check around the atom, we will have only 4 and 6 electrons. It means they are not getting 8 electrons even though if it is participated in a chemical reaction. So they are said to be electron deficient molecules. Electron deficient molecules. Clear, ma? Next. Example, methane. If it is a 4 bond pairs without any lone pair, what would be the angle? 109 degrees 28 inches. Which shape? Tetrahedron shape. Clear? Next. Methane. If there are 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair on the central atom, what happens? Occupies more space. Lone pair occupies more space than the bonded pairs around the nucleus. The remaining Three bond pairs come closer to each other and there is a slight change in the shape. For that example is ammonia. In the ammonia, one lone pair you can see on the nitrogen, already it is a bonded, and three unpaired electrons of nitrogen is reacting with the three hydrogens, and it is getting the lone pair repulsion and lone bond pair repulsion. Due to the lone pair bond pair repulsion, what happens? The angle is decreased from 109 degrees 28 inches to 107 48 inches. Okay, and shape of the ammonia is trigonal pyramidal shape. Which shape ammonia? Trigonal pyramidal shape. How many lone pairs are present on nitrogen? One lone pair. Clear? If there are two bonded pairs and two lone pairs of electrons around the nucleus of the central atom, the valence shell, lone pair repulsion is greater than the lone pair bond pair repulsion. Therefore, angle between the bond pairs further decrease. For that example is water. Water has two bonded pairs, and water there are four electron pairs around the nucleus, but two of them are lone pairs and two are bonded pairs, and due to that lone pair bond pair repulsion, angle is decreased from 104 degrees to the 120 degrees to the 104 degrees, and water is in which shape? V shape. Ammonia is trigonal pyramidal shape, and water is in which shape? V shape. Okay, this is about valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Valence shell electron pair repulsion theory mainly fails in explaining the strength of bonds. This is because the theory still depends upon a Lewis concept, and it could not say anything about the electronic nature of a covalent bond. To describe the covalent bonding, and a quantum mechanical model called valence bond theory suggested by Linus Pauling in 1954. Recent discovery, that is 1954. Valence bond theory. To describe the bonding of a quantum mechanical model called valence bond theory, a covalent bond between two atoms is formed when atoms approach each other closely and one atom overlaps its valence orbital containing unpaired electrons. The valence orbital of another atom that contains unpaired electron to opposite sign, thus formed paired electrons in the unpaired electron of opposite spin. Thus formed paired electrons in the overlapping are attracted. The formation of a hydrogen molecule, the s orbital of one hydrogen atom containing one unpaired electron overlap with one s orbital of another hydrogen and giving rise to H single bond H and forms a H2 molecule. The greater the overlap orbitals that formed from the bond, the stronger will be the bond, and each bonded atom maintains its own atomic orbitals, but electron pair in overlapping orbitals is shared by both the atoms. If two atoms form multiple bonds between, the first bond is due to overlap orbitals along the internuclear angles. And the stronger will be the sigma bond and the phi bonds. If they overlap end to end, such overlaps are stronger and it is termed as a sigma bond. If the overlap is side to side, such overlaps are named as pi bonds. It is weaker than the sigma bond. Okay, good example is a chlorine molecule. When it is said to be a chlorine, when two chlorine atoms combine, it forms a molecule. Atomic number of chlorine is 17. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. And in this 3p5, already px is paired and py is paired and pz is having one unpaired electron. This unpaired electron of each chlorine combines and forms a chlorine molecule. The 1s orbital of a hydrogen containing unpaired electron overlaps with 3p orbital of chlorine atom containing unpaired electron with opposite form, to form HCl molecule. Okay. N2. What is meant by N2? Nitrogen. And nitrogen atomic number is 7. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz. So 3 unpaired electrons of each nitrogen overlap with another nitrogen. Px of first nitrogen overlap with px of another nitrogen, that is end to end. It gets one sigma bond, and 2py and 2pz of each nitrogen overlaps side to side and forms the pi bond. So one sigma bond and 2 pi bonds. So it is example for double bond. And in oxygen, that is 2 unpaired electrons, that is 2py1, 2pz1. 2py1 is overlap end to end, forms one sigma bond, and 2pz overlaps side to side, it forms one pi bond. So it is example for double bond. Okay. Next, hybridization. What is meant by hybridization? Intermixing of orbitals having same energy and redistribute in equal number of electrons, shape and energy is known as hybridization. Actually, according to hybridization, normal discussion, beryllium atomic number is 4. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2. Does not forms a bond because already it is paired, but it forms beryllium chloride. How? Due to hybridization. One electron from s orbital is transferred to 2px1. So 2 unpaired electrons of a beryllium overlap with 2 unpaired electrons of each chlorine and forms the bond. So this is known as a hybridization. Okay children, that's all for today. In the next class we will discuss remaining topics. Try to complete your classworks, projects and submit in the school. Okay ma? Thank you.